Graham G. Matthews here with BleacherReport.com, here at the WWE Tryouts here in Nashville. We're coming off of day 3 of the Tryouts. One of the standouts here today, Kevin Ventura-Cortes. Kevin, what's going on, man?
Yeah, phenomenal. How you doing, my brother?
Doing fantastic. I mean, coming off of today's the final day of the Tryouts. We just got the precursor as far as what your background is, but just to get it on the air here, you were at the Tryouts in Dallas.
Yes, sir.
Can you talk a little bit about your background and what led you to where we are today?
Yeah, so like you said, I was originally asked to go out to a tryout in Dallas in WrestleMania, and unfortunately had devastating little injury leading up to my pro day for aspirations to reach the NFL one day. But had some neurological deficiencies in my back that I've been constantly fighting, and it really tore my hamstring a bit. So it was just kind of unfortunate I wasn't able to participate physically. But leading up to that, I was just a collegiate student athlete. I went and played JUCO, D1 ball, ended up at a D2 in Minnesota, and was granted an opportunity to try something new. So as soon as I walked in that door, it kind of just opened up avenues for me, and here I am today. Just like I feel like the coaches and the executive, the staff, they saw something in me, a little light in me, and they kind of blessed me with that second opportunity to redeem myself and be able to truly showcase what they anticipated the first time around.
Yeah.
So.
I mean, that's that key word, opportunity. You get that opportunity, and I feel like everyone that we've talked to, I think, is in the same boat in that they take it very seriously. I'm not sure there's anyone here that didn't take it seriously. But as far as just being someone that this wasn't your life plan to come try out for WWE, I'm sure, to come here and to hopefully get signed and all this other sort of stuff. Just talk about that, and I was asking other people as far as from when you get the opportunity to do this many months ago to where we are now, and just whether the newfound respect you have for the training part of it, the promo part of it, just knowing how much more goes into it after having done it these last couple of days.
Right. I mean, I can just say you cannot prepare enough. It's a different beast and it's a different ball game, and no matter what sport or what background you got, whether you're an athlete or non-athlete, I think it's a shocker to the body no matter what you do. So the respect off the bat is there. Just even the energy and the intensity that these guys bring to us on day one, you can just tell we're in for it could be a living hell or it can be a dream come true, but it's the pain and suffering that a lot of us have endured in our athletic careers that we kind of have that. We got that sense of what we're getting ourselves into, but you can never really put your fingers on it because you've never done something like this. It's an amazing opportunity, like you said, and it's just something you just got to go through to feel for yourself, the experience, and I think that's why they have such an amazing fan base.
Yeah, exactly. And I mean, especially with football and with what you've done the last couple of days here at the Tryout, talking about that pain factor, I feel like there's two mindsets. And again, I've never done it, so I can't speak from experience. But as far as like doing it and you're like, oh man, I just want this to be over. Like I gave it a shot, whatever. That's one mindset. I feel like you're the latter. It's like, all right, I'm in pain, but it's worth it, and this is cool, and I'm giving it a shot, and I want to get signed. It's not like, all right, it'd be cool if I did. I'm okay if I didn't. It sounds like you're all in, and correct me if I'm wrong, and it's okay if you're not. It's fine. I'm just curious. But, like, just talking about the mindset, because I really feel like that's what makes or breaks certain potential superstars and wanting to get signed here, you know?
Right. I think, me personally, I had that advantage to have that first opportunity to be able to flip the switch like, okay, this is my time now, me personally, and I have to prepare like if it's a Super Bowl winning game. You got to study the film. You got to look into the WWE history. You got to talk to the people you may know, connections they know. You got to go in with that mentality. Yeah, the pain is there physically, but I think like any sport, any game, anything you do in life, it's how you perceive it and the mentality of it. And if you can flip that switch, I feel like if you're 100% in, locked in, like you said, that's where truly you'll make it to the top of that ladder.
Yeah. Were there any other main motivating factors for you in addition to just taking the opportunity, making the most of it, wanting to be signed, obviously making your career, that's going to be first and foremost. But as far as other factors like, for example, you have a brother or a family member that grew up a wrestling fan, it's like, all right, I think it'd be cool to show them that I made it here and they would have never expected this. Either that or like I want to prove X, Y, and Z wrong. Like these people I went to school with or whatever, and I'm going to show them I'm going to become a WWE superstar. I'm going to be famous. I'm going to be one of the best goddamn wrestlers out there. Like, what other factors are there for you?
Man, there's countless factors, but the biggest ones for me is that, like, I was consistently bullied as a kid.
Okay.
And you may not think of it, but I was just bullied, and I'm a minority myself. So I'm a first-generation college student, believe it or not. So everything that I've done, going to college football, being away from my family for so long, doing everything I do for not just my family, but my people back home, for the other minorities and the people who look up to me, that's what I'm doing it for. And I'm a behavior therapist, so I've been working with kids with autism and just kids in general since I was 17 years old. So I've just been doing it. This is a platform, and that's really the biggest factor for me. I may not be the fastest, biggest, strongest compared to a lot of these guys or the most athletic, but I don't care about the accolades. It's more for me the platform and the opportunity to help bring other kids that maybe had similar upbringings as me. I grew up without my dad, and I just wanted to show that, it's not the end of the world, and you can make it this far if you just believe and you get that opportunity.
That's awesome, man. I mean, going into this week and kind of going off that, are there any messages from family, friends who know? Do you tell people that you have this opportunity? Because I'm the type of person, like, I don't want to tell anyone unless I get signed. It's like, all right, I did it. And then if I didn't, like, I'm not going to tell you. Like, what was that process like for you?
It was kind of already out the bag because I went to the first one.
No,
so for the second one, it was a little surprise.
Yeah.
But, I mainly just told, like, my circle of my family and closest friends who already made it from the first tryout that I'm going to do it again. Mm-hmm. I didn't really want to post much until I kind of got a sense of how I did on day one and where the vibe was. And they welcomed me with open doors and
that's cool.
Remembered my face. And that to me was like, I'm meant to be here. This is now, it's in alignment with me, and I'm meant to be here today. Like, this is, it's my time. So
and in coming back, was there anyone that you saw for a second time that really stood out to you, or any advice that you got from any of the coaches that, because it was only a couple months ago, and you're not a forgettable guy. If you see it once, you're not going to forget. You definitely stand out, just to let you know, absolutely. So, any advice from people that stuck with you, I guess?
You know what's crazy is that, like, I got advice this time around from every single coach.
Cool.
Every single coach, and
they all have some different offer, too.
Yes, they all have different perspectives because they've been in the business for 20, 30, 40 plus years, and just being able to have the opportunity to be in every distinct ring. I was able to talk to them a little bit before, after, during, and they really helped me set myself apart. That's what really kept driving me, was because I kept asking those questions, kept reassuring myself, like, am I doing this right?
Yeah.
Sometimes they wouldn't even say anything because I already took their advice, and it's just like, what more can I do? And I just think having the executives from Brad to Graham to Christian to Greg believe in me from the very jump and bring me back, that was just all the reassurance and advice that I needed. They just told me, put the muscle on, bring the juice, and everything was written from there. I did it in a month and a half, and I worked my butt off.
You could train for the physical part. Obviously, you did. You just talked about that. What about the promo part of it? How much do you train for that?
So, believe it or not, I was a theater kid.
Cool.
4 years in high school.
That helps.
I really was.
What any particular plays that you starred in?
Not that you may know. It was more of like creative from our school director.
Cool.
But I'm just a very outgoing guy, and I'm very
awesome,
shy.
man.
And I work with kids, so like being able to, with that audience, I'm able to really relate.
Big advantage. Big
advantage speaking Spanish. But I think the biggest thing with the promos was seeing all the talent do it the first time around, and then just being able to see these guys and apply it. It's just like, I could do this, but I could do it better a little bit. So watch this.
And knowing that Paul Levesque, Triple H, is there in the front row during the promos. I mean, sometimes I feel like they might be even harder than the physical stuff itself. Talk about what you're feeling in that moment when you're cutting your promo in front of all the people that matter most, that are going to sign your checks, and about if you could sign,
The biggest one to me, it was Triple H for sure, and Paul Heyman, who was just
for sure. He was here yesterday.
Your stomach will just wrench the moment you even take a step on that stage. And
you
got to remind yourself to take a deep breath and remind yourself why you're here, and just have that confidence, because like the biggest thing that stood to me was, do you dare to be different? And I dared to be different just a little bit as I went on, and my confidence built on. So the promos part was just trying to be different so that they saw that, and not just the physical stuff, but promo stuff for sure. And
you excelled in both areas, and hopefully we see you in WWE down the road, if not imminently. I think you're going to make a great superstar. So thanks a lot, man. I appreciate your time, Kevin.
Appreciate you,
awesome meeting you, and congrats on everything, man.
Thank
I appreciate
you so much.
it. Absolutely.